Namaste. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 1.18. In this Yoga Sutra, Muni Patanjali has helped us to understand what happens in the deeper stages of meditation and how we can start to understand it a little bit better. So let's start to look at this sutra and then break it up word by word. The sutra itself goes, Virama Pratyaya Abhyasa Purvaha Sanskara Sheshonyaha. Now, let's start to see what each of the individual words are and understand them better. Also, please feel free to pause this video and take notes if you need to in between while you're looking at the meanings of the words. So now, the first word itself is Viram, and Viram refers to the end. The next word is Pratyaya, which talks about the content of the chitta. Then we come to the word Abhyas, which is talking about repeated practice, as we've understood even in the previous sutras. And then finally we come to a word called Purvaha. And this is the word where all the meanings of the sutra change, because some commentators take a particular meaning of Purva and some take a different one. We're going to lay out the different meanings for you and let you decide which one you think fits best for your understanding. So the meanings sometimes are accompanied by, followed by, or preceded by. And when we explain the sutra in the later part of this video, you'll see why there are three different meanings. Now, coming to the next word, we talk about sanskar. And sanskar refers to a particular impact or mark. And then we come to the next one, which is talking about the sheshaha, which refers to the residue. And the final word here is anyaha, which refers to the other region or the other. Now, these are all the meanings of the words inside the sutra, and now we're going to understand as a whole what the sutra is trying to tell us. So the sutra is informing us that in these deeper states of meditation, which are known as anyaha, there is such a deep experience that we start reaching the end point of experience, of normal experience, and we go into what we call supra-consciousness or super experience. And that's why this super experience is difficult to put into words, and it's almost indescribable. So now you might wonder, well, if it's indescribable, how are we going to put it into the sutra? So Muni Patanjali also knew the limitations of words, and he knew that it's difficult to talk about something that can truly only be experienced. And so he tried his best to put a few words in there that might help us to at least get a gist of what this other experience is all about. So let's see what he was trying to explain to us. Well, the first thing itself is that probably this Virama Pratyaya is referring to an ending of experience or the end of the content of the chitta, and that, if you remember, sounds very similar to Vritti Nirodha from Yoga Sutra 1.2. Now, if you don't remember, Vritti Nirodh meant the reduction of the thought waves, and Virama Pratyaya is telling us the reduction on the end of normal experience. So we might end up thinking that both these concepts are exactly the same. Well, there's a little bit of language difference here, and I'm going to explain that to you. So when we talk about Virama Pratyaya, we are referring to Sarva Vritti Nirodha, which means absolutely no thought waves in the mind, and we've reached a state of higher consciousness where we're not just experiencing the normal things as we usually do. But when we talk about Vritti Nirodh, we could be referring to partial reduction of thought waves, or we could be referring to full reduction of thought waves. So Vritti Nirodh can have two variations, but the sentence Virama Pratyaya usually means yes, there's a complete stoppage of thought waves, or at least normal experience, and we've transcended that boundary to move into a new realm of experiences. So this is what Muni Patanjali is trying to say. But here is where some commentators have different opinions. Some commentators believe that we already need to experience the stoppage of experience to then go into the Anya region. Whereas some commentators believe that the start of the Anya region is marked by virama pratyaya or reduction of normal experience. So it's just a matter of where in this anya region do we experience this virama pratyaya. So it is a little bit confusing only if you're looking at the difference in the words, but a simple way to remember it is that when you have this stoppage of normal experience, it usually will continue for some time, and that entire continuation of no normal human experience comprises the anya region, and that's how you can understand it. Now, once we've understood that this entire anya region refers to supra-conscious or superhuman experience, then we can move to the next segment of the sutra, which is telling us that there's a residue which remains. So a lot of people might be thinking, hey, if I go into deeper states of meditation and don't experience anything, or in the sense that I don't experience anything that can be put into words, what is the point? Why should I go so deep in my meditation practice? And here's where Muni Patanjali is explaining to us that these deeper states of meditation have a residual effect. They take us to such a deep level of supra-consciousness that we experience something which is often termed superhuman. And then when we come back from our samadhi state and we come back from these states of yoga, we start to have a residue of that experience and we feel like a transformed personality. And that residue then guides our normal interactions in the world. And that's what we keep storing as sanskaras in our system. And according to the karma or the rebirth theory as well, it is these sanskaras which determine our next births or the next things that we're going to experience in life. And therefore, these deep states of meditation are really important because they give you that sanskar or that residue of a very deep experience, and you can use that to transform your personality and keep practicing yoga diligently till you reach the ultimate stage of Kaivalya, which is the last stage of yogic practice. So therefore, it's not a futile process to go deep into meditation because the sanskar remains with you, the impact of your practice remains with you, and you're transformed at an experiential level, even if it's difficult for you to put it into words as to what exactly has happened to you. So this is what Muni Patanjali is talking about in Sutra 1.18 when he tells us that, hey, there's a region called Anya which happens in your deep states of meditation. You may not be able to put into words what is happening to you, but you will experience super consciousness, or as we call it, beyond the bounds of normal human experience. And then from that supernormal experience, you'll have some residues that you carry into your normal life, which will transform you as a person and as a human being. So this is what this Yoga Sutra is trying to tell us. And on a very practical note, I understand it may be difficult to grasp this entirely, but the whole point of these Yoga Sutras is to guide you towards experience. They're just serving as your roadmap. The rest depends on how you experientially feel and conduct your yogic abhyas, so that all these Yoga Sutras start making more and more sense to you because you will have ratified them or checked them in your normal yogic experiences. So this is a little bit about Patanjali Yoga Sutra 1.18. I hope this has been useful for you. Please do share this video with your friends and family, especially those that are studying the Yoga Sutras or are undertaking any kind of yoga exams and yoga philosophy courses. Apart from this, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel to support us and to encourage us along this journey. We hope to see you in the next video. Until then, please take care, and we're going to see you very soon. Namaste.